addicted to ballin'. I'm addicted to ballin'.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tennessee Titans and the New Orleans Saints.
Gotta go.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Harris. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Bridgewater now on 2nd down. And this one hauled in by Will Tye. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there at 22. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Second down, Bridgewater. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all this stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories. And you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do. And when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there. That nice opening drive because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Mariota and the Titans break the huddle, 1st and 10 at their own 23. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Throwing, Mariota. It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Now a pitch out to Kamara. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Bridgewater gives to his fullback line. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much running room. Down to the 32. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Delta.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Michael Thomas, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. What's good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. A 2nd down throw here for Mariota. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Off the play fake, Mariota. And to the right side here, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Again, it's Mariota. And Walker has it. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. And on the ground they go with a running back. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
On every snap, a defense is trying to establish who they are, but on 3rd and short, that's really when you put it out there and tell people who you are, and that's exactly what they did. For the offense, they're looking at their offensive line and saying, guys, where are you? We need you on those plays.
Now a handoff looking right. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And the Saints will have the football back. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They begin on the ground with Kamara, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A 2nd down throw for Bridgewater. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have this all the way down deep into Tennessee territory. It's a big play there for the Saints. 49 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The Super Bowl hero, Malcolm Butler, makes a stop.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. From the gun, Bridgewater steps away to his left. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. And the Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Lutz's kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Mariota into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell, and he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but, boy, he's playing really well.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Out of the gun, Bridgewater. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this 1st half. Bridgewater on 1st down. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas in the final seconds of the 1st half. And the Saints add on to their lead. Lutz with the extra point. And a rout is on here in this 1st half. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. Typically down in the 1st half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, 1st half, you still got a chance. I think touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Adoree Jackson on the return. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 23 yards on the play.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Now a second down throw for Mariota. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Keep it rolling, keep it rolling.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Just work with me a second here because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, I feel like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets. And he comes back with one complete. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They start the drive on the ground, Kamara. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Looking long for Thomas. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. Boston Scott, his first carry. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Bridgewater now. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now. The Saints on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Bridgewater. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
On second down, Ingram. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
The Saints on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now Bridgewater. Forced out to his left. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
And Lutz puts this one through. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
Keep it rolling, keep it rolling. One.
Second down, Mariota. He finds Corey Davis. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Mariota now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
One.
Now Mariota. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Alex Okafor in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now Mariota. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 16 yards there, a Tennessee first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They go play action here on 1st down. And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack. Alex Okafor in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Mariota now from the 50. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a first down. Mariota now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Mariota. Throw taken in by Taylor, left side. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Let's go.
Mariota again. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
That's going to be caught. A good pickup there, a 22.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
And oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And he will take this one in for a Titans touchdown. Marcus Mariota His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Titans are able to cut into that deficit. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he'll find his way in for 2. And we're back to a 2-score game. The lead's cut to 16. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They've been pretty anemic on this side of the football in the second half, just 3 points, and you just saw the touchdown go the other way, so it's a 2-score game. We're not done here yet.
I think everyone's on the edge of their seats now because they're anticipating what's coming, and I sense that everyone in the stadium knows they need to keep it on the ground. So if you're going to do that, hope the quarterback is stretched a little bit. Some bootlegs, right? Some fakes inside, getting out to the perimeter. Those might be open for him.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Delta.
First down, Bridgewater. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off near the 42. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Throwing is Mariota. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Mariota to throw it. Uncorks one for Dick. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Throwing, Bridgewater. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. A 1st down throw for Bridgewater. And Davis has it over the middle. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, That makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Throwing here, Bridgewater. He's going to look deep down the field. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Despite the lead here in the fourth, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Now Kamara. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. And the Titans going to signal for a field inside the 45. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Kamara. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Bridgewater here to throw. Try to lay one up. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Touchdown. In for the score. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Lutz to try to add the PAT. Lutz good on the extra point. And that pushes the lead up to 23. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. One last shot now for Mariota. And he's got his man on the out route. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
The Titans on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack.